Hello, champions, and happy Wednesday. I am so excited for us to dive into the next part of our review today, and that is fractions. Today we're going to add fractions with unlike denominators. I know you can do it, and so does Mr. Smiles. He's giving you a big thumbs up. We're going to do one quick review problem first. Let's multiply decimals. Remember, when I multiply decimals, I can just count the number of digits behind the decimal and then multiply like normal. So in this first problem, 4 and 2/10 times 74 hundredths. How many numbers will be behind the decimal in my answer? Well, there will be 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal in my answer. Now I can multiply 42 times 74 like normal. What's 42 times 74? Go ahead and solve that multiplication problem now. The correct answer to the whole number multiplication problem is 3,108. Check your work with mine. Now, I know 3 digits need to be behind the decimal, so which one of these answer choices correctly shows the decimal placed? Well, if I moved 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal, the answer is 3 and 108 thousandths. Now you try a problem. What's 8 and 3/10 times 1 and 9/10? Well, first, how many digits are going to be behind the decimal in your product? There will be 2 digits behind the decimal in your product. Now multiply. What's 8 and 3/10 times 1 and 9/10? Enter your answer in the box, then check your work with mine. The correct answer is 15 and 77 hundredths. Now let's jump into today's lesson. Today we're going to add fractions with unlike denominators. I know it's been a while since we've reviewed this, so we'll do one together, and then you'll have a chance to do 3 on your own. Let's start with 3/5 plus 1/2. The first thing I'm going to do is draw my T-chart to keep my work organized and put 3/5 and 1/2 into my T-chart. Now, before I can add fractions with unlike denominators, I need to find the least common denominator by listing the multiples of 5 and the multiples of 2 and finding the smallest number on both lists. 5, 10, 15, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The least common denominator is 10. Now, I need to change each fraction so that it's an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10. When I multiply 5 times 2, I get 10. What's my new numerator? 3 times 2 is 6. When I multiply 2 times 5, I get 10. What's my new numerator? 1 times 5 is 5. Now I can add my fractions. What's 6/10 plus 5/10? It's 11/10. I'm not quite done with my problem yet. When I have an improper fraction as my answer, I need to change it into a mixed number. When you change 11 over 10 into a mixed number through division, what is the result? Well, 10 goes into 11 one time. 1 times 10 is 10. And when I subtract, there's 1 left over. The answer is 1 and 1/10. Now you try one. What's 2/3 plus 1/4? Show all your work and enter your answer as a fraction in simplest form. 8. When I add 2/3 plus 1/4, the least common denominator is 12. 2/3 is equal to 8 over 12. 1/4 is equal to 3 over 12. When I add 8/12 plus 3/12, I get 11/12. Now you try another one. What's 5/6 plus 1/4? Write your answer as a mixed number in simplest form. Check your work with mine. When I find the least common denominator of 6 and 4, it is 12. 5/6 is equal to 10/12. 1/4 is equal to 3/12. When I add those two together, I get 13/12. When I change 13/12 into a mixed number by division, 12 goes into 13 one time with 1 left over. The answer is 1 and 1/12. Now try one last problem. What's 5/8 plus 1/3? Enter your answer as a fraction in simplest form in the box. When I add 5/8 plus 1/3, the least common denominator is 24. 5/8 is equal to 15/24, and 1/3 is equal to 8/24. 15 plus 8 is 23/24. The correct answer is 23/24. You've done a great job with this video. Now it's time to move to the IXL practice on your playlist.